right, hello, and welcome to the band that time forgot. This is the new podcast hosted by and about How to Swim, Glasgow's most stubborn rock band. This year we are celebrating 25 years as an entity, recording and doing live gigs and the rest. So the plan is, over the next 12 months, we will be doing 25 episodes of this podcast. And this is the first one. It's almost Christmas, so this is our festive edition. I would like to introduce some of our co-hosts this afternoon. I'm Gregor, hello. Far camera right, we have Dave Gillis, current bass player.
Hey guys.
To his right, we have Dan Driver, current guitarist.
Merry Christmas.
To his immediate right, we have Mr. Paul Kelly, former How to Swim player and now the mastermind behind his own wonderful project, Martial Arts, a band with whom we will be playing on the
20th of December.
20th of December. We're doing a show with the Martial Arts and Bobby King at Glasgow's Glad Cafe.
I love Bobby.
Welcome everybody to the inaugural episode of the podcast. We will see how well this goes.
Welcome, Gregor.
Thank you. Does everyone have enough mince pies and drinks?
Oh yeah, all good.
Prop mince pies.
No, these are real mince pies. These
Is
are
it
real
really
mince pies.
forever?
Just for the record, anybody off behind the camera are so off mic as to be inaudible. So speak loudly if you're going to interject from the sidelines.
I'm just heckling.
Yes. That's Chris Brown, current and former and future drummer of How to Swim. Also not a convicted. Was he convicted?
Probably.
Don't think so.
No.
No, he was.
Certainly by the court of public opinion.
Convicted, definitely by the court of public
public
opinion.
didn't seem to care.
Eventually, they didn't went to him.
Well, I mean, they don't really care about anything anymore.
There's a lot of things the American public shouldn't have had anymore.
That's what happens to Jay-Z.
Did he get cancelled and then uncancelled? Is that what happened to the original Chris Brown? I'm sorry, you're Chris Brown too. In terms of
I was the original.
In terms
Chris
of Wikipedia,
Brown.
you're the second
I was
Chris
making
Brown.
music before that guy.
Who's oldest?
Well, definitely me, surely.
Right.
I don't know if that's true. I think Chris Brown might be about 45.
Google on.
I will say again. Come on this side if you want. Otherwise, you'll be in
I
order.
don't know.
You know what? I'll tap out. Go on.
Okay. I think there needs to be some of this. It needs to be WWE rules. People in and out.
All right. Hello.
To keep everything better. And again, choke on those mics as much as you can.
I think
boys.
everyone can see that I'm not Chris Brown.
No shame in that.
Yes, this is not Chris Brown.
I am Chris Brown, but I'm also not Chris Brown. It's a weird place to live.
Schrodinger's Chris Brown.
I'm Schrodinger's.
There we go.
Schrodinger's Brown.
That's a good name for a band. I might actually use that.
That isn't bad. It's Gone Green with their new album Schrodinger's Brown. Isn't bad. It's Gone Green is Chris Brown's solo project.
It's a name for my solo project because I obviously can't use Chris Brown
on Spotify and
Who is
a
the
variety of
other
other
Chris
places.
I think there's many Chris Browns actually.
Famous ones. More famous than you.
Probably certainly. I think I'm maybe the 6th most famous Chris Brown.
You're Chris Brown VI on
when I was growing up,
IMDb.
and I shit you not, this sounds like a made up story. When I was growing up, I said if I ever make music, I have to come up with an alternative name because who would ever buy an album by someone called Chris Brown? It was like being called John Smith, as far as I was concerned. So
Sam Smith didn't hurt their career.
Didn't hurt Sam Smith, but then Chris Brown just was mocking me basically. I think his whole reason to exist is to mock me. That's how, that's how much the world revolves around
And
me
to
in
get
my
off on
head.
punching ladies.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Right. So
4 minutes to be cancelable.
I'm just making a suggestion about the peculiar sexual peccadillos of Mr. Chris Brown.
Is there
Was it in bed?
Is there a lawyer?
Well, no, but it might have.
Who's the most legally
You're
trained
taking
here?
it there.
Are we going to get
Juiced him up a little bit.
You've taken it to the
He might
boudoir.
have got something out of it.
Did he just punch a girl at a drive-thru or something like that? And now you're saying it's a sex thing?
Might have been a sex thing. You don't think it was a sex thing? Think it was a power thing?
I think it was a power thing.
Okay.
I didn't expect him to be debating this, but
It's definitely an aggression thing, isn't it?
All right, it's your fault, Chris, for having the same name as this reprobate.
I've not helped.
You haven't helped. Right, okay, so this is the first episode of the band that time forgot. We are called the band that time forgot. The podcast is called the band that time forgot because we have been doing this for a long time. Now, of the 4 of us currently on the mics, only myself that was here the very first year. Chris, when did you join How to Swim?
I joined in 2002, early 2002. Yeah, so I've heard and forgotten a lot of stories of the first couple of years, but you're the only one really that's here that can tell us. And you could just be, and your memory's so bad that you probably are making it up.
We toured with the other Chris Brown. We have had an offer from Mike Bates, who, if anyone saw our, we did a celebration show in 2015 of our first 15 years, and Mike did a wee cameo there. Mike here. 2000 would have been the last time you've done a gig with any band, and he played on a song that first night, and has come from Durham for this evening to play that one song again.
50% of the original band, so...
Yeah. This is between the two of us. That is 50% of the original band right here. Is that online? The weird shit Mike can't read?
No, you've not cut it yet.
No, it's taken me 10 years. I haven't done it.
There's a song called Weird Shit Mike Can't Read.
Yes, where he reads a poem on top of.
Which he does
basically
read.
One riff.
He does read.
He came back for that. He had offered to appear. I think we'll get him in the next episode because this is our Christmas one. And I'm not confident of our ability to just phone somebody and record it. Technical limitations. We're gonna make sense of the technical limitations of this as we move forward.
We could take the line out of a phone and plug it into the sound card, and then
this is what I needed 3
that
hours
would
ago.
get the feed.
Shall we do this? Shall we call Mike?
Dan is our technical advisor.
Do we have a 1/8 inch jack to maybe a 1/4 inch, or can we break it out into
Well, my
stereo?
phone. I could take my phone. I could call him on my phone, and we could hear this end. The issue would be Mike's end.
That's
Nerds.
The line out would do that, though. It would give.
But would we need to have it at his end?
No.
Oh no, line out. Yeah.
From your phone or my phone.
Shall we call Mike? Are we calling Mike?
Why not, if he's around?
Let's call Mike.
Alright, if you're covering this now.
I'll buzz him here. And again, if
He's been bumped up from the second show to the first show.
yeah, exactly. Well, he had said he was available, so.
This is just like
do you have
what it must have been like to be on Going Live with Philip Schofield.
Yeah. When Phil Schofield was randomly calling his mates in 1992.
Let's not say anything about Philip Schofield. We've already covered Chris Brown. Let's not get the lawyers involved again.
Did he commit any crimes?
I don't know.
I think he was being difficult on set, which I don't think you've been as bad as him yet.
No. It's still early.
It's early doors.
How many minutes?
Going live.
How many minutes have we been recording?
Many.
We've been recording for
Do you know
47
there's
seconds.
some connection to Philip Schofield?
Come on. You got to give us this. What is the Hiatus Swim connection
We
to?
played on the same bill as a guy who rugby tackled Philip Schofield on stage at Smash Hits Ball Winners Party.
Who is the guy?
Bart from formerly of Carter USM.
Why did he do that to
Because
lovely Phil?
their one song set got cut short and he made fun of them. And it's good.
I didn't know we were associated with Carter USM.
Well, not
Well, we are.
tenuously.
No, did we not? Did we support them?
Support in person.
The solo project of the guy from Carter. Yes, no, I know. We're cross.
We've got to switch in Nicola now to talk about Carter USM.
Yeah.
Nick, do you want to bounce in?
No, I'm alright because that's literally all I can say.
This is Nicola, formerly of this parish, who's here as a celebrity guest this evening. Keyboard, cello, and lovely vocals for what are we talking? 15 years? 15 years. It's a long time.
Insert photo of Nick.
Insert photo. Yeah, there we go. It's there.
There she
Photo
is.
of Nick.
Can we do a Ken Burns effect?
Seamlessly cutting back in.
Yeah. I didn't want to join the band because some people.
This was when?
We were in college together, and
Yeah.
I knew you were in a band. I knew you were a songwriter, and I was aspiring to be the same. And I knew some people from college had gone along to see you play live, and I asked them how was it, and they were just like, it was just weird. And I was like, okay, that doesn't sound like my kind of thing. so then I heard, and then you asked me to play a gig.
And you were about 9 at this point.
I was
as well.
about 9. Thank you. Which means I'm what? I'm 31 now. That's great.
You're weathering well.
So yeah, then I played a gig, and I wasn't expected to be a permanent member. And you sent me through some tapes of the stuff, and I was like, "Oh, this is the stuff they were all telling me about."
That they said sucked.
I think you just wanted to be in that era. I think you really just wanted to be Bob Dylan. That early era, you were writing very sort of compared to now, overly kind of sentimental.
that notorious sentimentalist Bob Dylan.
I don't know. It's compared to
Always writing those mawkish tunes.
You're writing songs like "Love Like in the Movies."
Yeah. That's off the first unavailable anywhere. I think that
in
tune.
Missing Records.
It was available in Missing Records with a real leaf. We put a leaf in the cover, so that it would rot over time.
But
if anyone, I know if it depends on how many people's watching. If anyone has one of those copies with the leaf in it, because they were all sold. Somebody has a copy of that with a leaf in it. If you still have the leaf, please get in touch.
I'm sure the leaf fell out like a long time ago. Sure.
It's worth as much as
it might have been.
pence.
I mean, it's been in there for 25 years in the back of a CDR.
Have you still got the recordings, or did you lose them?
No, still got them.
Right.
Somewhere.
Are they online?
We'll play a little bit of Love Like in the Movies here.
We can't just sing it. No,
no, we're not gonna. It's not that kind of podcast.
Is it on Bandcamp?
No.
God.
Oh no,
It was only a demo.
It's on Bandcamp. I think it's on Bandcamp.
So that was a very twee tune.
It was a little bit twee. It's got a good line about Van Morrison not having many good albums.
Yeah, it does. Well done. Well done for remembering your own song.
It's not got any less true. Right. So hang on. Where were we?
No, I'm just saying. So
we're talking about the first year.
You were starting to evolve your sound at that point because Martin had joined the band. Martin Doherty.
Martin Doherty. I'm going to interrupt this to do our first. Because sorry, I'm off mic. Because this is the end of the year, we're asking everybody to give us their albums of the year and also movies of the year if they've seen enough movies. And we have Martin, who now lives in Barcelona, who came back for the 2015 show and is a good friend of the band's. He has given us his 3 albums of the year, but he's also given us notes on why he picked those specific albums, which I think is a nice move.
So he's very much here in spirit.
Yeah, his number 3 album is Saved! The Index. Saved the Index. It's a real Godspeed You Black Emperor. By the Reverend Kristin Michael Hayter, which is a series of unreleased demos for a 2023 release, but he doesn't care because he is a fan of anything that she does. It's alt gospel.
He is fan.
He's a fan of anything that the Reverend Kristin Michael Hayter does. Has anyone heard of the Reverend Kristin Michael Hayter?
No, but I'm going to Google that immediately.
Here's a bit of that now.
Can we do that?
I will say, I bet the other 2, Night Palace by Mount Eerie is his number 2, which I haven't heard, but I've heard Mount Eerie stuff before. It's pretty good.
Please tell me his number 1 isn't Geordie Greep.
No. That's my number 1's Geordie Greep. Not Geordie Greep because that's my number 1. I'm not often in the mood since he's always a challenging listen, but it's a beauty. Dark Night of the Soul stuff, full of proverbs and pain, says Martin, our former bass player, about Night Palace by Mount Eerie. And his number 1 is Heavier Yet Lays the Crownless Head by Seun Kuti and Egypt 80. The only mostly joyful album on this list, all about a man at odds with the world around him, yet who focuses on his love for his wife to save him. I listened to this yesterday. It's pretty good. It's a bit clean sounding, but it is nice that Seun Kuti is still playing with the now 400-year-old members of his dad's band.
Are these obscure choices or
not for Martin?
Seun Kuti is Fela Kuti's son, and he's about our age. But
yes,
he's been around for a while. But I mean, still, like what's the is it Afrobeat?
Afrobeat.
Is it Afrobeat?
Yeah, Fela Kuti was like Afrobeat.
Yeah, it's that. So it's very similar to, except it's fun because it's the original old men that played with Fela Kuti, old men and ladies that played with Fela Kuti, but they're doing his songs and he's singing about like ringtones and getting cancelled and having a song go viral and things. It's quite interesting hearing old sounding stuff, but about new sounding concepts, which I quite liked. Anyway. Back to Martin.
No, I'm just saying
after that 5-minute digression.
He joined the band around the same time, and the band, I think, partly from Martin joining and partly from your influences evolving at that time, started to sound a bit more like the Strokes or the bands that were becoming, more mainstream at that point, and so that appealed to me a lot more. And
that was 2001,
2002, but yeah. So then I was like, okay, if it's going to move away from that kind of, twee kind of vibe into something a bit more.
It was quite twee.
It was very twee.
Those first 3 EPs are very twee.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
I can admit that now. Enough time's passed.
But anyway,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dan.
It's okay.
Will you forgive me?
At that point, it's fine. I didn't have to be in the band then. That's okay.
Let me say, I saw Gregor, and it might have been Bobby King, but there was one other person playing at an open mic night around
Bobby
this
King
time.
playing again,
Maybe-
playing our gig on the 20th.
It might not have been Bobby King, but it might have been Chris actually. And you played a song that had a lyric that went, "Fuck me in a flame retardant suit."
No, that wasn't me, but that was a song called Pleasant Tune.
That's from
That's the early stuff.
That's from '99. Fuck me in a flame retardant suit.
That stayed in the set.
From a tune called Pleasant Tune, which stayed in the set for a couple of years.
Well, it was stayed in the set for about 6 months when I first joined.
That's
Sounds very cheesy.
it wasn't that that wasn't that tweet. That was kind of funky. That was like had a descending. It's a Pachelbel's canon. It's a Pachelbel's canon.
It's like All Together Now by the Farm.
Pachelbel? Thank
We
you.
know because we fucking hate it.
It's whatever by
Thank you, thank you, the audience. We're getting live fact checking from the cheap seats, from the cello. We've got a duo of cellists.
That's a good opportunity for me to tap out.
Patsy Cramelton is also here, our current cellist and synth player. Do you want to jump in, Patsy?
Yeah, my fizz is over here as well.
Oh, do I have a fist left?
I'm gonna go for a pee while I was gonna do that, so I'll do it behind you.
I think you're okay to
Keep the
while
pea
we're
stuff
still-
in. Pea stuff's
keep the pea
great.
stuff.
Pea stuff's great.
People love pea stuff.
Yeah, totally. Because everyone goes for a pea. So
Yeah, leave all that in. In fact, take the cameras with it.
if anything, it humanises us.
It really does. It really does. People look at us as being up here on our ivory tower.
Yeah, totally. And imagine
in this
look at us,
in this expensive studio that
To look
we're
at us,
using for our
like,
podcast.
you know that bit in Short Circuit when Johnny Five just goes to the side of the road and just does a big piss,
That's my favourite bit of that movie.
and he's just like, and he's just like the relief. Seems like
And what does- and what-
yes.
And what does Fisher Stevens say?
Shame Dave wasn't there for that. Sorry. It's Fisher Stevens.
Let's not do what Fisher Stevens would say. That's
Okay.
not a good idea.
I think
We don't
I
wanna
know why
what
that's
Fisher
not a
Stevens
good
would have
idea.
said at
I
that
think I know
point.
why it's not good. It's maybe how he said it that's a problem.
Probably, and the way he looked while saying it.
Sure. Okay, no, I think
I am melting.
I think I know
just
where
melting
I'm
in this thing.
Is Fisher Stevens the guy from Succession?
Yeah, the guy who looks like a little bobblehead.
The svelte neck.
Very, very thin.
Are they incandescent bulbs
Yeah.
that you got for cheap? The incandescent light bulbs.
What was on your t-shirt?
This is the Jordy Creep album
Is
sleeve.
that blood or wine or jobby?
It's not.
What? Oh, you mean? Oh, I
Greek.
think this is little bits of fabric that have come off my Santa
No,
suit.
like coming out his neck.
Well, what would come out of your neck if someone cut your head
It's
off?
not for Gregor.
Wine? Why does wine come out of your head?
Wine coloured.
I know, but it's blood. It's clearly is wine not blood coloured?
I suppose it is. Yeah.
Blood does come out really quick if you cut someone's head off.
This is why
It's
one of the reasons
it's
that
arterial.
Dan is
Dan
such a
knows
vital
this.
member of the band is because of his biological knowledge, anatomical skill.
It's arterial pressure.
Yeah. Patsy has now joined us on the seat. Patsy, tell us how long have you been in the band, and where give us your 3 albums of the year if you have them.
Oh, okay. So I joined the band like in July, maybe sometime. Responded to a post on Facebook.
Yeah, was it Facebook?
It was Facebook. You were looking for like a vocal kind of, what you call them?
A vocal
Singer.
A vocal singer.
Backing singer. That's
Yep,
the
yep.
one. I've only had one of these.
If you want to sit forward and catch that mic a little bit better.
And if you want, just put that down.
How dare you? How dare you?
Nobody's getting cut off this evening. This is
No one's getting cut.
nobody's getting cut off.
Recycle picks up the mulled wine.
I'm your daddy now. So responded, totally out of my comfort zone, but I've really enjoyed everything. It's been really fun. I can't think of a top. I've got my top 1 album.
Top one's
so
enough. Top one's enough.
Is The Scratch, and it's Mind Yourself, and they're like, I think they're Irish, kind of Irish metal / folk, which is really weird, but they are so catchy. I love it. Absolutely love it.
If I'm playing a tune in the edit now, which one of their tunes should I play?
Oh, it would be Cheeky Bastard.
Cheeky Bastard.
Yeah, it's been
Who's a bit of Cheeky Bastard, everyone?
Cheeky Bastard.
That's
You don't think what?
we can't play more.
I think we
think
can.
you
I
can
think
do
it's
about
live. It's like
90
8 seconds.
Yeah, a few seconds.
And we're talking over it, so it doesn't
If
matter.
you're reviewing it, you can.
Yeah.
We've got a
use.
satirical fair use claim. No, I
All
think,
the
I think it's
music
fine. It's 8
podcasts I
seconds.
listen to these days is just like, here's and it's frustrating. But
It's really good. Like
If you talk over it for the entirety, apparently it's fine. You could run the whole song, but as long as you're talking through it.
It's really good to like. I was lifting loads at the gym, like when I first met you guys, and it was like my album for listening to.
Okay.
Which is why it was in my top.
We've got a lot of bodybuilding fans, so I'm sure they'll really appreciate that recommendation.
Do you know what my song for lifting
we got
is?
How to Swim fans are notoriously swole.
It's Lifted by the Lighthouse.
I feel bad that I wanted to make it like his family choke this whole time as well.
It's also my song for getting arrested.
Nick has joined us now. Nick, tell us your story with the band.
Well, as Chris has very helpfully reminded me that my
Did
first
he?
gig,
Or is that from a bit that we cut?
well, yeah, you don't have to know.
I couldn't remind him.
He reminded me earlier that my first gig was Sean Callahan's last gig.
But Paul, you were there. You were watching.
I was watching it.
Yeah.
You weren't in the band.
It was
I
one
was
gig before Paul Kelly.
Waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
So I'd done the gig before at Oranmore. I came and saw you guys because I can't remember who I can't really remember who asked me to join. I've no idea, but I came along to see you guys at Oranmore and was like, okay.
Did you not answer that?
Part of this.
You didn't answer that?
No.
Hang on.
No.
Gotcha. Which Oranmore gig?
Dave Gills is back.
Which Oranmore gig
So
was
would
this?
it have been 2009?
Alright, so that is way later than I was thinking, because the first time I ever saw How to Swim, we were playing at Oranmore with...
2005.
Was it? With Paul Kelly
Yes.
guesting on
He
one-
wasn't in the band at that point.
Oh, but we did an awful version of.
We did Plea for Tenderness.
Plea for Tenderness.
My
Where
memory of it is it was great.
no, the last 2 minutes.
Was it not
The last
great?
2 minutes were pretty good, but
The first half was bad.
it got so embarrassing that Paul had to then count the rhythm out to us on stage as we were doing
what
it.
you're saying,
because-
Chris, is that when I now say, and here's a bit of that live recording, nothing will play because we're so embarrassed by it?
Well, you can play the good bit.
We can play here's a bit of the
Really
last
good
2
bit.
minutes.
Wait, here's the
Started
good
off
bit.
badly and got marginally better.
Here's the good bit. And here's the bit where Paul has to count us in.
Oh, were we
were off rhythm.
We spent
were we all overlapping?
the last 10 minutes of the rehearsal were spent learning a 7-minute song, which wasn't really wise. So
No.
it's not really. It's forgivable.
On the interjecting, we did this.
That was that gig.
Interjecting, we did mention Sean Callahan, and we have a question from Sean.
Yes.
I want to say 43? Yeah, he's younger than me.
He's 42.
42. Sean, 42, Barcelona, has this question.
Who's your favourite guitar player ever and How to Swim?
He's a very shy, quiet man.
He's really quiet on this recording. It's very strange. All right.
Stoned.
Who's your favourite guitar player ever and How to Swim? Is his question.
This is a question for Chris.
Which is obviously, that's we've got
Oh,
two other guitar players.
So it was you were the original guitarist,
Mhm.
but who was the other one that you cut the strings? You cut all the you cut the strings off your guitar.
That was
sounds awful.
Same name as the guy that killed John Lennon.
Mark Chapman.
Mark Chapman.
That was his name.
He
Back
in
from
a
the very
moment of
early days?
spite, he cut the strings off your. So not him. We can't.
In his defence, I had broken one of his guitar strings on his
hang
guitar
on,
while
the guy
he wasn't
killed
there.
John Lennon.
But in
broke your
in reply, he cut with scissors all 6 of my guitar strings on my
and you were
guitar.
surprised when he cut your fucking strings off. The guy.
Wait a second. So what we're saying is
It wasn't actual Mark Chapman.
wait. What we're saying is HTS, not that HTS, featuring Chris Brown, not that Chris Brown, and formerly
featuring
Mark Chapman, not that Mark Chapman.
Did anyone ever point out to him that guitar strings break all the fucking time?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But in his defence, I had broken, I think, one of his strings twice. I think I bought him a replacement string both times. But anyway, I thought that was an overreaction. So he was very, very. We've had 50 members of How to Swim over the last 25 years, and only like 3 of them have ever been removed on purpose.
cancelled.
They've mostly just left.
They've said horrible things about.
But Mark, we didn't return to the well with Mark because I thought that was a bit much.
But then,
Mark, if you're out there,
so how many guitarists have there been? Because it was basically Mark. Then you were on your own for a bit, and then it was Sean, and then
Paul,
Sean left Paul,
and then Dan.
Dan. So right, okay.
Not many.
Well,
I think
obviously
Sean's
Paul
fishing
Kelly was the greatest How to Swim
Well, there we
guitar
go.
player.
There was
I think it was a loaded question.
Paul, who do you think is the best?
No,
Who do you think is the best guitarist in How to Swim?
Think of the source of the question.
Yeah, Sean is a former guitar player.
Oh, we got some real Sherlocking going on here. We've worked out the cunning ruse that Sean's.
Funnily enough, my
And
question
also-
is, who's your favourite drummer?
Also, Chris has told me to my face in the past that Sean is the best guitarist.
Chris, you bastard!
Did I say? I do no memory.
I will say I am abstaining from all value judgments about members, former and present.
Why would I? I mean, Sean is. I knew Sean at primary school from the age of when I was 4.5. I met Sean. How could I ever say anything else? How that man is a surrogate.
Well, we hope, Mr. Callahan, we hope you appreciate the answer.
Basically, you're saying, Chris, your opinion can't be trusted because you're.
I do have a biased opinion.
close.
It's the first guy that-
Sean is like another
it's the
brother to
psycho
me,
guy
and I
that
love
cut
that
the
man
strings up,
dearly.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's
But
Mark.
I also love
It's Mark.
But,
It's
you know,
alright.
We digress from a Nick thing.
sorry.
It's all right.
Tell us more.
It's the weave.
It's the weave. It's the weave. It all ties in neatly at the end.
It's what we do.
Except it doesn't.
Make How to Swim
doesn't.
great again.
Where else? Where were we, Nick?
I don't know.
Oh, were you going to give us your albums there?
Oh.
No, but we were talking about Nick joining the band.
Well, we played the Captain's. That was my first gig, Captain's Rest. Then we did a festival in Edinburgh, outdoor in a tent. And,
Yes.
Just stare at it.
And yeah, I didn't hate the band, so I just stayed in it for 15 years.
This 25 episodes is going to be a lot of that. Well, it was alright.
Wait till
my
episode
answer was
15
the
when we
same.
start asking, why did you leave?
Why the fuck did you leave? I didn't love it enough.
Episode 25.
I didn't love it enough.
There were a
It's
few
been a problem
people
for a lot of our audience over the last quarter century.
Oh,
There were a few people that joined and really hated it
yeah,
and then left.
I managed 15
So-
years, so it's pretty damn
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I remember those days because I remember I left 6 months after you joined. I remember saying that I was going to leave, and you were like, "Oh," and I'm just like, Gregor had shown no emotion about me leaving. Gregor, who I'd been in the band with for 7.5 years at this point, was like,
Okay.
"Oh, well,
Let's be honest, by this
He was
point,
like- he was like,
I'd had a lot of
"You're
puppies
another
die.
drummer." And Nick, you were so lovely. You were like, "Oh, Chris, but it's lovely having you in the band. We let you be in the band." I was like, "Oh, I wish I could stay." But like, other than that, I nothing from you.
So your tenure of the band, you had
15 year.
15 year. There we go. When you joined, though, drummer wouldn't have been Chris. Or
No,
was
it
Chris?
was Chris
I was.
for 6 months.
And then
it
would have
was
been
the guy
Bob?
No.
No,
Bob
yes.
for
Oh,
a few
Bob.
months.
Bob for a few months.
That's right.
always
Yeah,
joined
About
Bob.
3-4 months.
Bob, who made this, we'll pretend we're listening to it because we don't have the ability to have someone play it off mic, but Bob, who made this interstitial for this very podcast.
How to Swim. 25 years, 25 episodes.
Thank you, Bob. These are hilarious and I love them. And then Mr. Ian Cronin.
Yep.
For
No, you missed somebody out.
Oh, great. What was his name?
Oh, Colin!
Colin!
We forgot about Colin! Yes. Colin, who was with us for only a little while.
Who was our favourite drummer?
Greg phoned me like an emergency call
Colin-
saying, "Can you
Colin
come
was
back
very
up
nice.
Colin,
for like a couple of
Colin
gigs?"
brought along Jimmy Somerville's brother.
He
to one
did.
of our rehearsals.
He did.
Did he?
Colin brought Jimmy Somerville's brother to one of our rehearsals, who sat there politely in the corner having a really good time. Jimmy Somerville's brother sat there just enjoying it. He was. Colin was a nice guy.
because he was
Jimmy
being-
Somerville's brother.
Colin was
also
not a nice guy. Well,
This
guys,
is
I never
a
met the guy.
revelation.
Not true. I'm not disparaging Colin. Colin was a very nice guy. The issue with Colin was that. Or do we? Is this?
He's definitely not watching
We're
it.
just talking about
Are we getting
cancelled-
into legal
people get
issues?
cancelled all the time, right? We need to just move on. You can see Colin.
Colin had to leave the band because Starbucks. We were rehearsing in the empty space above Starbucks on Byres Road, and we were. Colin was refused entry to the Starbucks. He was no longer allowed to enter our rehearsal space, so I had to fire him from the band.
Is it because he brought Jimmy Somerville's brother?
No. If anything, that should have warmed him
redeemed.
to the Starbucks crew. Problem was, he had given the Starbucks number. You remember this?
Oh.
He had given the Starbucks phone number out as his private business number. So Starbucks were getting phone calls saying, because he was a drum teacher, saying, "I would like to book my son in for a class to learn his paradiddles." And
Why?
they were like, "We don't want these fucking calls,
Why
man.
did this happen?
Can this guy not? We're happy with you rehearsing in our attic, but can this guy not be in the band anymore? So
Anyway,
my hands were
Colin
tied.
Colin can be seen in the video for High School Apocalypse.
Out, you feel nervous and you feel ashamed. If no one finds out, no one will get blamed.
I'll get up and go and let someone else sit in this seat.
Well, no, but you need to give us your 3 albums of the year.
Well, yeah.
Or movies of the year if you don't have, or just one album.
She's not listened to
I've seen one movie. I saw Hundreds of Beavers.
Oh, that looked amazing! That looked amazing!
It was really weird.
Was it amazing?
Yeah, it was really weird and fun. Maybe a tiny bit too long, but...
Here's a clip from Hundreds of Beavers. Go watch Hundreds of Beavers. It looks fucking incredible. Any music? Any new stuff?
I have really enjoyed, and I know a few people are going to say this, Geordie Greep. I've really enjoyed his On Greg's t-shirt, Geordie Greep. The second one, Hiatus, Kaiyote, I went to see them in Manchester. Love their new album and really enjoyed them live as well.
Tell us about Hiatus Cody. I've never heard of them.
Oh, well, they're Australian. Quite jazzy. You're not going to like them. Too jazzy.
Too Steely Dan.
He's moved in his jazz phase now.
Oh, right. Well,
he likes Geordie
have a
Greep.
listen.
I do like Geordie Greep. I
They
really
play
like
around
Geordie
with
Greep.
time signatures and jazziness. And
There's lots of good music out of this.
she's an absolute goddess, the singer. Napalm. She's amazing. So,
She's called like a napalm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's survived breast cancer like a couple of years ago, and she's just rocking it and very cool. And the third
if
one,
there was a tune of theirs that we were going to play a chunk of right now, what bit should we? 10
Everything
seconds
is
off?
beautiful.
Okay, here we go.
Sitting on my face, I was fine.
And I've enjoyed all 3 of the Smiles singles this year, and
They put 2 albums out in the last 12 months.
Oh right, well I don't know which album it is then, but I thought I was excited about them, and then I found them quite boring, and then this year they've been coming out with some really cool stuff, so looking forward to listening to whichever the 2 albums those 3 are on. Boom.
There you go.
Perfect. Good work, Nick.
The How to Swim podcast.
Can I just say, in all the history of the band, this is the weirdest thing we've ever done.
Is it?
I'm not sure about that.
That's a good point.
That circle jerk was definitely pretty strange.
Remember that time we killed a guy?
So
we've got the four of us at the table now to talk about Greek Active, which is the new How to Swim album that is coming out on the same day that we do the show with the martial arts and Bobby King.
20th December.
20th December.
Correction, it is the How to Swim album that's coming out on the 20th.
That's what I said.
It's not new.
No, it's not
Sure.
Stirring the pot here.
We haven't got to that part yet,
This
Paul.
is promotional material.
I know. Sorry.
It's not. Well, okay, so we'll go back to that. What? Well, you brought it up. Tell us the story of the album Greek Active, as you understand
We
it.
recorded the basic stuff in 2015, and then the band
Might have been 2014.
I think it was 2014.
I think it was 2015.
It was 15.
I think it was 2015. And then Chris knows all these things.
Yeah.
And then the band kind of just went on ice for about 7 years.
Greg, you became a dad.
But
I did.
I think bits of recording were done by you,
In between.
but mainly not. And then laterally it's been finished off. Is that right?
Yes, that is very true. It's all finished and good to go. But yes, it has taken an inordinate amount of time. And in the space, we've also recorded since that we've recorded another EP and another full album. So it's all a little bit upside down.
It's intended to be quite a high fidelity kind of release, though, right?
Yes, I think it is. As well.
It totally is.
It's probably the most kind of expensive sounding thing that we've put out.
Can I just say that as of albums that were recorded over a long period of time,
it's no Chinese democracy, that's for sure.
No, that's one of the 2 I was going to mention, because there is no new metal songs on it.
No.
For when we were trend chasing that, and then it comes out 8 years after.
None of us wore a KFC hat.
Neither is it like the third My Bloody Valentine album, which came out with a drum and bass song on it, like about
10 years ago.
About 18 years after nobody listened to drum and bass anymore. So I think it's timeless in comparison to those 2.
So why is it that the album doesn't sound like dated, right? Because it literally does sound like today, even though it was recorded 10 years ago.
I also think it's because I think music kind of stopped.
Music has stopped updating, doesn't it? This is
like
my
we've
theory.
been in an 80s revival for 2 decades.
It's
now.
like there is no like the decades are kind of gone now.
Yep. Nothing. You could look back in the days and say the 70s was a certain type of music, the 80s was a certain type of music, the 90s was a certain type of music, and actually, arguably, the 90s wasn't even, because the 90s was a certain type of, well, we're revisionist on the stuff from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
And then post that, noughties, teens, 20s.
It's just a mess now, right?
Well, it's no, but it's kind of like all of the dream of the dream of Cypress Hill in 2001 was of a world in which hip hop and rock and like dance music could all combine. Cypress Hill tried it in 2001 and it didn't work.
Cypress Hill were like 1993. Sure.
No. 2001 Cypress Hill. They're putting jungle beats in there. They're putting rock guitars. It's a mess. Doesn't work. But 10 years later, now all kind of genres can roll in together and people can be very successful with it.
I'm wondering if it's because of the referencing thing, right? So like in the 80s, late 70s, they started doing the hip-hop-y type thing where they would sample stuff. And it hadn't really been done before, where you couldn't really just sample things. And then all of a sudden, you're kind of referencing stuff. Skip forward to like the 90s, and we are just referencing stuff constantly. It's like, it's always this kind of joke about something in the past. And then I think when you get to the 2000s, it's like everything is kind of slightly retro and slightly, I don't know. So it has busted the whole genre situation where it's now all a reference. It's all, there's nothing odd about that, because like we've got a track on Greek Active that is very 80s sounding.
Dress You Up Like Her. Here's a chunk of Dress You Up Like Her.
Very 80s sounding part.
We can play all of Dress You Up Like Her. We own the rights. It's the one tune with all our own tunes we can play with no concern about.
But that is possibly the last decade that you could just say, oh, it sounds incredibly 80s. I mean, there's some early 90s stuff that is very clearly early 90s, but certainly from 2000 onwards, it's all just a big bloody blur.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you can only say that when you look back, or when you hear something now and listen to and hear an influence from the 90s, because there's like Do Blonde at the moment is doing.
Who's Do Blonde? I don't know Do Blonde.
She used to be called Beth Jeans Houghton, I think, but she's called Do Blonde now. But she's come out with a few things that sound really 90s to my ears.
Right.
So I think there's more. Maybe it's only when you hear it now and you go, oh, that does sound like the 90s, that you can say. Do you know?
I think if you look at something like is it Fontaine's DC that sounds so incredibly 90s. That it and the bits of the 90s that I don't like.
So they're so hot right now.
They're so hot right now.
They are hot.
But
they are hot.
Interestingly, I'm not really into their music, but he the main guy I think was on Six Music playing his favourite music like at late night on Six Music.
Was it Stone Roses songs?
No, it was really good. His choices were really, really interesting. And I was like, Hadaway. A lot of Hadaway.
I will say, somebody was it was that podcast I was listening to was saying that the new Fontaine's DC record is completely unlike anything that they've done before and is the best thing they've ever done. So
they've done an Arctic Monkeys.
I will say I did not like the Arctic Monkeys for like 6 albums, and the last one was amazing.
Geordie Greek was being compared to Arctic Monkeys, but I think he's
that's not fair.
Much more complex, I would say.
The How to Swim podcast.
So yeah, with Greek Active, we spent quite a bit of time mixing it, kind of working on it, but we never really finished anything, and it kind of sat there in the archive for quite a long time until we met Cara South, the partner of a very good friend of the band, Gakko Cosmo, and she came along and gave of her time so kindly. It is outrageous. Has mixed multiple
she mixed Bars and Loners. Yep. Here's a song from Bars and Loners, mixed by Cara, came out earlier this year, and both magazines and Through Glass, the recent singles, are Cara mixes.
Yeah,
Cara
let's just take a moment to give out the big love.
Shout out to Cara.
Yeah,
good job, Cara. And currently also doing a remix of Retina, which should be coming out at some point next year.
The 20th anniversary edition.
Chris, how long ago did Retina come out?
2009.
2009.
No,
so not.
No, fuck. It came out. Oh shit! We recorded it in 2009. It didn't come out till 2012.
No,
we recorded 2007 to 2009. Came out in 2010.
Oh,
2010.
So we'll be ready by 2035.
15-year anniversary for for Retina, we'll have a remixed version.
Nice.
And Retina never came out on vinyl. We're going to try and get Retina out on vinyl.
I was
next
going to
year.
ask, is Greek Active coming out on vinyl?
No. But hopefully maybe next year. Currently, no. Currently, it's coming out just on Bandcamp at this point and Spotify. I think from our perspective, given that people do want to buy vinyl now, we have made an explicit decision to not make CDs of the new album because it just doesn't seem like anyone's going to buy
small runs of vinyl. The problem is the big
small runs are so expensive as well. Yeah.
I could see the logic of possibly off topic. I could see the logic of doing CDRs for the gig or whatever, but honestly,
if it's already on Bandcamp and Spotify,
but not trying to be funny, I
there.
don't have a CD player, right?
I don't have a CD player either.
I don't know how I would play a CD. I mean, one of my laptops probably, but I don't. I mean,
I've got a PlayStation 3 for CDs.
How do you listen to your music? Put a comment in the comments.
Here we go. This guy knows.
How do you eat
this guy knows how this industry works.
Like and subscribe and hit the bell icon. Smash the bell
those
icon.
likes.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I would love to do a vinyl release of Greek Active. I think the artwork's really good. I think it would be fun to have a proper. I would love to have a copy right now. I'm going to Photoshop a copy in there, so it can look like I'm holding one for the benefit of the people watching on YouTube.
If you are watching this in the future after the album was released, it would be interesting to know: is there a woof on the cover or not?
Oh, there is no woof.
No woof. There will be no woof.
Controversially, there's no woof.
Do you want the woof?
It's woofless.
I don't know why not. I mean, who cares? Who cares?
I was on the side of the woof.
Where did it come from? I don't know. Tell me.
So Paul Kelly took a photograph.
Paul is the artist behind the Greek Active cover, which is actually, this is quite interesting. You were talking about artwork and stuff. Let's talk about the artwork because I think it's a great photograph. And it's shot by Paul.
So there once was a dog that apparently lived on the roof of the windmill.
There was two
Brixton.
dogs. And they must both be dead by now.
They are, yeah.
There was a Rottweiler and what was that, an Alsatian?
Yeah, that was an Alsatian, the one on the cover, yeah.
I remember when he died, it was on. Yeah.
There's a Twitter page that just posts a different picture of the dog on the roof of the windmill every day.
Like in tribute? Are they in black and white?
I think so.
Do they have woofs?
They don't have woofs.
What is the windmill for people who don't live in Glasgow?
It's a venue in Brixton. Very cool venue that we played a couple of times, I think. Once with me.
I think we played twice. Did we play twice?
Yeah, we did play twice. Once supporting Les
Dennis?
No.
Abdu Japarov, which is Les from Carter. And what was the other time?
Band.
The other time was when Peter was in the band.
Seymour. His name was Seymour, and he was the singer in a Horse Party.
We played with Horse Party. Yeah. And we played with Horse Party twice, I think. Did we not also play with Horse Party in Tunbridge Wells?
Tunbridge Wells, thank you, yeah.
Tunbridge Wells?
And I thought my memory was shit. Oh, absolutely, my memory was
Tunbridge
shit.
Wells, was that one when we drove through the Yorkshire Dales to get home?
Yes. It was Bury St Edmunds.
That was awful.
And the lady from another band, quite famous, thought we were great.
The lady from the
Chris.
She was like,
I was in the band at this point.
I know, but you should still know you're the band historian.
They got cancelled as well.
Did the Long Blondes get cancelled? Oh, was there a creeper in the Long Blondes?
But it was the girl. She was nice.
She was called.
She didn't get cancelled.
We asked her to sing on one of our singles.
Did you say the name?
And she never replied.
Sorry, too busy being cancelled.
She loved our music.
I can't remember. It'd be great if we could remember her name though.
I could Google it right
Kate,
now.
and she bought
Kate.
She bought a CD, and that was
Kate
at the
Chapman.
end of it.
Oh,
I don't know.
No, you're thinking of
I'm
Mark.
thinking of Mark Chapman. Remember that lady that shot John Lennon?
She's awful.
Kate Harvey Oswald.
Kate Jackson.
Kate Harvey Oswald. Kate Jackson. Yes,
Jackson.
she was really good. And she was very. She said very kind things about that, and she bought a copy of Diagramma.
Don't put any of this.
I will. I'm going to put it all in.
Okay.
Kate, if you're out there,
Love ya.
I drank too much beer, so I'm gonna.
You did it.
It's time to swap out. That was really good though.
No, but hang on. Were we going to cover more of the Greek
We
Active
never
stuff?
talked about Greek Active, the album.
We absolutely didn't.
Yeah.
We talked about the artwork, the mixing.
We did talk about mixing.
the recording, how it took.
We haven't taken
years.
any
Why are you talking about how good the album is? Because that's not come up yet.
What's your favourite song off the album?
Oh, that's a good question. What's my favourite song off the album?
Gregor, tell me, what is your favourite song off of Greek Active? I know it's tough.
It's tricky. That's very tricky.
Dress You Up Letter, right?
Huh?
Dress You Up Letter. It's definitely Chris's favourite song off the album.
It's Chris's, but I'm not Chris.
But it's the most recent song that you wrote of the album, so I assume it's your
I
favourite.
don't know if that's true.
Really? That was slipped in at the end, because that was slipped in way after the original recording sessions in 2015 or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, what? I don't know that.
It was like, wow, what is this? And it was a demo as well, so it sounded a bit.
I'm gonna say, it's a good question. I think my favourite tune off the album is the Soul one, which actually comes out in, what day is it today? What's the date?
Single?
The date is the 13th, Friday the 13th.
It comes out tomorrow.
Wow.
That's coming out on Joyzine are doing their advent calendar, and this is our Joyzine release is tomorrow. So this comes out tomorrow from where we are.
He could have told us. You know.
He did.
You mentioned this.
You could have told us.
Sorry, I didn't. But it comes out tomorrow. If today is the 13th, it comes out tomorrow.
I don't know what today.
It comes out as a free. It's a free download.
Is that a single?
No, but it's a free download from Joyzine's advent calendar.
What is the next single? Only Love.
Well, the next thing that happens is the album comes out. So I don't know. But if we were going to do another single, we would do It's Only Love.
Anyway, your favourite song off the album was?
I think my favourite song is Soul One. I really like the end of it, and I really like the brass section that we got, because we got Rich and Ross back, who played with us for many, many years.
Yep.
They came back for one last score, and them and Alexander, our current saxophone player, who would be here but can't make it. The three of them do a really lovely brass section at the back end of that, which reminded me how much I like the big combination. So much noise from off camera, motherfuckers. but it reminded me so much of how much I did enjoy the big band when we were. And again, we'll get into this in the later episodes. There was a period of our history where there was 11 or 12 or 13 of us on stage at a time, and there was stuff that I really enjoyed about that, which I think we will going forward be revisiting a larger sound.
Nicola, what was your favourite track from Greek Active?
I need a track listing because I'm like names.
Chris, do you want to jump in on the seat? You can. What was the final running order?
Oh, you want me to do this off by heart?
Yeah, because you can.
Because no one else knows the final running order than you.
Artistic brain. Okay.
Well done, Dave.
So, Through Glass, Logic and Conscience.
Yep.
I Know I'll Fall.
Yep.
Angelina. It's Only Love. Magazines. Only Adeth Me. Hammers. It's Free.
He's putting on the uncertainty.
Sing Your Brothers. Dress You Up Like Her, Soul One.
Nice. You think he was feigning uncertainty?
I think so.
Maybe.
I've had a few beers.
I think Ode Entre Me. I love weird time signatures, and I do have really
Is
good...
7/8 a weird time signature?
It's not a standard time signature, and I've got good memories of us playing that on TV.
Oh, here's a clip of us playing that on TV 10 years ago.
Did you put Angelina on the album?
Huh?
Oh, I thought you cut it.
Kept it in there.
Good. I like it. I think it's good stuff. It's good.
We ended up doing that thing where it goes outside for a bit, and I really liked it again. I fell in and out of love with that tune.
And I like the lyrics as well.
I don't. That was the reason I fell out of love with it. It's not about anything. And that's the thing that frustrated me, is it wasn't really about anything. In the way that the other ones kind of are, and that one was just, it was a bit like.
No, it is about something. You
gap.
just haven't worked out what it is yet.
Also, the audience it could be about. It can mean things to people listening to it.
The How to Swim podcast.
I've got a joke. What do you do if you've
You
got
are so off mic that it might be tricky to get that joke to register. But what is the joke?
What do you do if you have a trumpet growing in your garden? This is from Roddy from Main Street. You rooted it?
Roddy from Main Street 37. You rooted it?
You rooted it.
That's good. That's good.
That's a good joke.
Okay, hang on. At this juncture, we've got the current band. We still have our celebrity guest, Mr. Paul Kelly, and the rest of the current band, with the exception of Noah and Alexander, who weren't able to be here. We're going to do some of the questions from our public. Being a band, this is from Jamie from London. Being a band with such a long history, looking back, what, if anything, defines the band's different eras, and what would you name them? So a kind of Taylor Swift adjacent question, and I'm going to give that to Chris as the longest serving.
That's a really tough one. So I've got to come up with a name for all the different eras?
What would you call them?
Well, what are the eras? We already discussed the Bob Dylan kind of era. We discussed the Strokes.
That's what we're calling it? The Bob Dylan era?
Well, you've got to come up with a name. You're the creative one. There's the Dylan era, there's the Strokes era, there's the kind of Arcade Fire era.
Dylan era.
I'm just giving you the
No. There's no bad ideas in brainstorming.
It's funny.
The Arcade era. Then there's the one where you went back poppy. I think after that there was the big bombastic thing, and I don't know if you've ever really left that era.
You mean the bombastic period where there was like 11, 12 of us?
Yeah, the polyphonic spree kind of era.
Yeah.
And then I think since then it's been a kind of a similar. I don't think
there was definitely a point in about 2010 or 2012 or whenever when we stripped it back.
Yeah.
So it was more streamlined, and that broadly we're still in that era, I guess. Although you can't pretend we didn't do anything for 7 years.
True.
So
life took over.
The post hiatus period probably needs to be its own thing.
But in terms of coming up with a name for all those individual eras.
So what you're saying is to Jamie, terrible question.
No, I'm saying complicated
Thanks
question
for nothing,
that
Jamie.
requires a lot of thought.
Jamie has a second question, and I'm going to give this to Dan.
Okay.
Because Dan is upset that he's not been included enough.
I think that they've.
What is your favourite? What is your? This is from Jamie from London.
Jamie, hi Jamie.
What is your favourite venue in Glasgow and why?
To go to gigs or to play?
This is a Dan question, Chris.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it,
That's a
and
great
they
question.
can edit the thinking time down, can't they?
Yeah.
What have you got? What have you got, Dan? What have you got?
At the moment in Glasgow, I think I might say St Luke's is a good venue.
It's a really nice
because
venue.
it has nice light, and it's one that I've played in and enjoyed playing in, and it's one that I've been to see gigs in as well and thought that they were very good.
Do you have 3 albums, or have you got an albums of the year? What are your picks for 2024 records?
Well, The Child Within the Man by Skid Row's Sebastian Bach was very good. Thought it was very intense and a very authentic rock record given the times we live in.
What track of that should we play briefly here?
I think it's called like Everybody Bleeds, but it might be called Everybody Drowns, but it's definitely...
Here's a little bit of Everybody Bleeds / Drowns. Okay, and third question.
Twice.
Any chance you'll ever record a new version of There's a Building There? This is revelation that Jamie is an older fan.
Well, hopefully, because I think my drums suck on There's a Building There, and I would like to play them properly. But there's a whole...
I don't feel like there's an issue with the drums on that tune.
Well, I do. And I was the drummer on it.
There's your answer. It's Chris.
Jamie, I will keep pushing Gregor to re-record that song and many other songs that maybe didn't get the full...
Okay, we have a bunch of other questions here.
Chris, there's too many new songs.
There are too
some
many.
of the old ones need to be
There's
recorded.
too many new songs.
The odds of us going back and re-recording a tune from 20 years ago, I'm sorry, are just significantly small at this point.
Can I just re-record one part?
Just the drums?
Yeah.
We could release a single, just solo drum track.
Yeah. Save me from embarrassment.
Love it. Okay, we got another question here. This is from Mark, aged 41.5. He says, if you could collaborate with any fictional character on a song, who would it be and what would the track be about? That's like if you and
deep thought.
Batman.
That's easy. Rufus from Bill and Ted.
I love Rufus from Bill and Ted.
Rufus from Bill and Ted, whose personality is played by Doug Stanhope and his hands are played by Steve Vai, and he can play the guitar solo.
How is Doug Stanhope part of this?
Oh no, I'm getting Doug Stanhope mixed up with George Carlin. It's funny because they both.
But only one of them is living.
Similar.
But George Carlin, they were both alive at the time though.
Steve Vai did the hands. He was a handstand.
So, or maybe Joe Satriani, but one of the big shred guys.
Same thing.
Was he the greatest handstand?
You know,
He's the greatest handstander.
When Rufus is doing this,
that's a gag. It's a gag for no one. I like this though. I like the idea that we would do a song with the ghost of George Carlin.
Yeah,
that would be delightful.
He's not a fictional character,
but it's not. It's
Rufus. No, but as Rufus.
It's Rufus,
right.
the rock pedagogue from the future.
And then the other question: what is the weirdest gig request or fan interaction you've ever had? That's a tricky one.
Wasn't that gig at Governor Hill Park he did where the person just wanted to hear Bruce Springsteen covers and they kept coming up to you saying, do you do covers?
Yes.
You were like, no. What about Bruce Springsteen covers?
I got very upset that somebody was asking to hear a bunch of tunes that weren't from us.
But she still liked the band, regardless of the fact that you refused. to play Bruce Springsteen.
Here we go. Okay, any other questions here? We've got, alright, how many members of How to Swim could you fit in a phone box? This is from Michael from Fife, who
Haven't
is
you actually done
51.
that?
We have done this.
We have done this.
And it's
how
7.
many did we?
I think it was 6, if not 7.
I think you're right. Here's a photo of that.
Count them. It's more than 5.
It's more than 5. Less
and
than
less
12.
than 8.
And another good question. And this can come to all 6 of us. No, I'm gonna edit this. Who is the best band you saw for the first time this year? And I'm gonna first start. We're gonna go right to left. Dave, who was the best band you saw for the first time this year?
I think the question is last year, actually. Because that helps
Well, not
me
this
with,
year, but within
that helps me
2024.
with my
Let's not
answer.
ask you a question about 2023.
But that helps me with
We'll
my
allow
answer.
you. We'll allow
within a year.
it to be a year either side.
Okay.
Okay.
So a band you saw in 2023, 2024, or a band you're going to see in the future.
Okay, I'll jump in. Godspeed You Like Emperor at the Barrowlands.
There we go.
Why did I not know they were playing?
Very, very good new album.
Yeah, that's good.
And the name of the album changes every week, depending on how many people die in the Gaza crisis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is a really fun idea.
goodness.
Oh.
Dark as
Oh, lovely.
We put fun into the Gaza crisis.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's a really good record. Who else? Dan, best band you haven't seen before that you saw this year?
Well, that's totally fucking easy. Cardiacs.
You've never seen Cardiacs before?
Never seen Cardiacs, saw them this year. Great. That was good.
For audiences, on the off chance that people don't know who Cardiacs are, what Cardiacs tune should we be playing 10 seconds of right now?
Dirty Boy.
There we go. Here's 10 seconds of Dirty Boy. Dave, you got anyone from this year?
I really like the Twistettes.
Oh yeah.
Very fun band.
Yeah. I like the. It's not often that you get like that kind of punky. Like I'm not a big fan of punky stuff, like straight punky stuff, but it's not often you get that kind of punky vibe and actually, something that I really enjoy, and that was definitely it. So.
And they were just like 2 people as well. Like
Yeah.
that was just amazing.
It was
noise.
incredible.
This was at St. Luke's at the
Thing you played?
yes, the Mugstock thing. Also on that topic, if you aren't able to make our gig at the 20th at the Glad Cafe, we are playing the day after in Cambuslang as part of Solstock.
Yeah.
With a couple of local bands and us, which is run by the same people that did the Mugstock gig we did in the summer. Have you seen this year?
Do you know what? This year, for the first time I ever saw this year was the Pixies.
Oh fuck!
And we were there.
We were there in London.
We went to see them at,
and they were fucking amazing.
They were surprisingly good.
Why were you surprised? They were very good.
I'm surprised because you go to see an old band and it looks like they're just
You think
trading
they
on
must
former
think,
glories, and you expect them to be a little bit ropey.
I will say
They
on
were
that
pretty damn
topic,
good.
first band I have seen this year that I'd never seen before. I accidentally ended up going to see They Might Be Giants, and I never really rated They Might Be Giants before. I went with Bobby. Paul was also at the show.
Yeah.
They Might Be Giants were amazing live. I really enjoyed that show. I knew they were one tune,
but
I did not know the rest.
So
and it was great.
2023, I would say Nation of Language, which is a horrible name, but I fucking love it.
But a really good band.
The How to Swim podcast.
Okay, we're nearing the end of the podcast now. A couple of questions I'd like to ask, since we've got the current band and our celebrity guest. What has been your highlight? It doesn't necessarily need to be a band thing, but what of the last 12 months, 2024, what has been your highlight, Dave?
I mean, in popular stuff, then like
no, it can be personal stuff.
Jordy Greep. I'm sorry. I mean, he's just been too quality, man.
I feel like you're
love this
trolling me
album.
at this point.
No.
Your highlight of 2024, the discovery of the existence of Jordy Greep.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty good.
Christ, yeah. No, my mind has been completely blown with that album,
It's
man.
pretty good.
No. I mean, for someone so young to do something that is gonna be,
It is
it's
insane.
got that kind of
right
Randy Newman-esque kind of satire built in there.
Write about a terrible character,
Exactly.
and then hope the press don't think you're that guy.
Well, some of the press did, which is slightly
infuriating.
Yeah, it's
Clearly-
weird.
Clearly,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not the guy.
Isn't that
Somebody said,
strange?
he must have experience of being an incel. I'm like, I don't think so. He's been the guitarist in a successful band for 5 or 6 years, I'm sure he's getting plenty of ass.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. He's got no. I mean, he's just obviously writing about it, right?
The character work on that record is incredible. Patsy, a highlight of 2024, band related or otherwise.
I think it was playing at Nano Stock with you guys. It was really fun. It was really fun. It was so fun, and we just had such a lovely time, and it was just really nice. And
it was a really fun gig.
Yeah, it was really fun. And I had 2 gigs that day, and I absolutely hot-tailed it.
You nailed them both, baby!
I didn't play the first one because they were delayed. so I missed the first one.
I take that back entirely.
I could have been there.
You fucked up one of them.
I could have been chilling with you guys.
Completely.
It was terrible. But, just playing with you guys, it was just really nice, and it was really fun. So, thanks for having me.
Dan, highlight from 2024? Whenever you're ready.
No, go ahead, Chris. I'll keep thinking.
Chris, highlight from 2024.
Watching you guys at Nanostock. I think rejoining the band after a 15-year hiatus was a good one. But also, seeing my daughter start school was a
that's a big thing.
It's a mark in the calendar, and that's where I'm going to go with that.
I'm going to say.
Yes, Gregor, what's your highlights?
I think the day that we shot the magazine's video was probably the most fun I had this year.
Not the day you edited it.
The fucking 3.5 weeks it took me to edit it. No, it was not so fun. But the actual day of shooting that was a lot of fun. Everybody was there. It was pre-Patsy, but it would have been more delightful even had Patsy.
I've got my highlight.
What's Dan's highlight?
I would have loved it.
You were barely connected at that point.
It was in here, wasn't it?
It was in this room.
Oh,
it would have been so good.
Dan, what's your highlight?
My highlight was definitely getting banned from the karaoke and singing "Kiss from a Rose" with a top.
Insert clip.
It was a really erotic version of "Kiss from a Rose," and I appreciate it.
And here it is.
Oversexed.
I have footage of.
Is that also your highlight of the year, Paul?
It's in the wrong aspect ratio.
What's the highlight of your year? You've had a really productive year with martial arts stuff.
I'm really glad that people are finding out that Gino DeCampo is a terrible person.
Yeah. And Greg Wallace.
After he's never really been.
What was your fallout with Gino particularly?
Because he burgled Paul Young's house in about 1998.
I wasn't aware
before he was famous. Like, Paul Young, the
terrible musician.
Early my hat. He robbed his house, and he's been allowed to. He's
more like a Gino DeCampo.
Cultivate, yeah. I mean, he's got a pizza range in Iceland. The guy's a massive scallywag.
He's a real scampo.
They're quite good. They're quite good pizzas.
Scallywag.
Yeah.
It's not a word you hear about.
Scampo.
Anyway,
this is
trivial.
Gino, you're on blast for 2025.
Yeah, but he's fucked now, which is good. So.
It's all over for him.
But he got away with the Paul Young burgling house thing, which I think is really mental.
It's like that bit when CJ DeMoy from Eggheads, I killed a man once.
He pushed you to the canal. Yeah.
And then he got arrested. I think he might have been sent down.
He straight up killed a guy.
The How to Swim podcast.
Okay, so to end this inaugural episode of the podcast, we're going to do a quiz. Now this is... Patsy? Okay.
Yes, I are.
This almost certainly will be the spike for most popular bit of the video.
Yeah.
When you look at the YouTube statistics, the perverts will love that bit.
It'll fall straight off when you say all that.
And then everything I'm saying will be so much less popular with the perverts. We are going to do a quiz. It's the end of 2024. We've spoken about how much we have enjoyed 2024.
Loved it.
Not all of it. Not all of it. Not all
Every
of
minute.
it. We're going to do a quiz about the music scene and music releases within the year of 2024. I will say, we've made two quizzes. Both have been made by AI.
Al.
A bonus point for guessing which was made more by AI. Because one of them is very AI and one of them less so.
Hang on, there's different levels of AI?
We're going to do it in two teams of... No, there isn't any. We're going to do it in 2 teams of 2. So Dave and Patsy, team 1. Do you have a name for your team?
Top team.
Top team? Is that the name for your team?
Top team. Boof.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, fuck you, we're the best top team.
Fuck you, we're the best top team. And
Well, we are.
Dan and
Pursuit.
Chris.
Convivial pursuit.
Convivial pursuit.
Excellent.
Okay.
That is such
So
a
what I want you-
fucking Dan Drever.
What you guys are going to have to do...
You know I had nothing to do with that.
Where did Dan pick that fucker from?
You're gonna have
I
to
don't know, man. That's
quietly-
Dan. It's
Down at the
Dan.
back of the net.
It's Dan. I love Dan so
Here's
Yes,
the rules.
Gregor.
Once I
Poison.
ask the question, you guys have to like quietly confer and then combine your thoughts and give me the answer from both of you, and then I'll tell you the answer. Okay, for the first question, this is an easy one.
No.
Who released the album Guts in 2024?
Guts.
Guts in 2024.
We both have to have an answer.
So keep whispering, keep whispering, hello.
Actually, is that more knowledge?
Okay, you get 5 seconds. 4, 3,
we're gonna-
2. Okay, I'm gonna need an answer from that team. And you guys are duty bound to not just copy the answer
We
if it was
think
the right
it's
answer.
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish is the guess, and
Can we not
what are we
just say
guessing from
that's
here?
Yeah, we're going with Billy.
No, we're not allowed to do this.
That's alright, sir.
We need it to be written down on boards.
We guessed PJ Harvey. For
You're
no
all
reason.
wrong.
Well, that's
Who's
fine,
it?
then. It
Who's
doesn't
it?
matter then.
It's Olivia
down on
Rodrigo. You
boards.
should really have known
I
that.
don't know who that is.
Boards. We need boards.
I don't know who
Paul,
that is.
you would have fucking known that.
No.
You would have known that Guts was Olivia Rodrigo?
No, are you serial? Oh, so we
My
both.
guts.
It might, this
My
might,
lovely
this
lady
might be
guts.
like a real
That one.
granny pool match or something.
Okay, we got 50 questions. Let's fire
Okay.
through
I
this.
can't do 50 quid. I can't do 50 of these.
Right,
And this is
What time is it? We were supposed to go home.
question two. Question two. This again to highlight. This is a quiz written by AI. Which artist collaborated with Bad Bunny on the 2024 hit Where She Goes? You've got 10 seconds. Which artist collaborated with Bad Bunny on the 2024 hit Where She Goes? And I remind you, this question is written by AI.
Okay, we're ready.
See that?
Olivia Rodriguez.
Olivia Rodrigo
Rigo.
and Team 2.
Oh, we might miss a trick here.
You say that
Chapel Roan.
The answer is, and I remind you, this is a joke. This is not a joke. This is a quiz written by AI. The answer is, Bad Bunny had a solo hit with Where She Goes.
All right, this is okay.
Okay.
Next question.
All right.
Who performed Kill Bill, a chart-topping single in 2024? This is written by AI, but it's not stupid.
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
I don't know. Is it Chapel Roan?
Don't steal our answer.
Were you all gonna? Are you all gonna just answer Chapel Roan
is it their
for every
vote?
question?
I'm sorry. Did I fuck
I'll
that
go.
up?
No.
Charlie XCX.
Charlie XCX and
We're
Team.
going with Charlie XCX.
Fuck off.
Okay, everybody's asking for Charlie XCX. We need to get 2 whiteboards next time we do this. 2 whiteboards is necessity.
It's a learning curve.
Is that right? Yeah. No, you're all right. It's SZA. It's SZA. You should have known that one. I would have known that one. Okay.
Where
here we
were
go.
you, Dan? Where were you?
Megadeth. I don't know Megadeth. Is it Metallica or Megadeth? Could I keep saying Megadeth?
Right, let's go.
Question 3.
That's question 4.
Adele announced a new album in 2024.
No. The answer is no. Say no.
No.
What is it?
That's the end of the question. Give me your answers, guys.
Is it true or false?
27.
Or false.
Is she 27 now?
Is that what the
The
question
answer
is?
is false.
How old is she? That's
say no.
the answer.
Your answer is no, and your answer is false. The correct answer is false. 1 point for Patsy Dave.
We're nearly there.
No is the same as false.
Yeah, can we argue that?
The answer says it's explicitly written here.
But false is the name of a How to Swim song. Can't we tie that in?
That's no.
No, it's the name of the best house website.
No, according to Spotify.
No one's talking for false.
Okay, next. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
Are you keeping score, Greg?
I am. 1 and nothing. So it's quite
Very
easy.
easy.
One love.
15.
Okay, here we go. Question 4. What was the name of the hit by Ice Spice in 2024?
Oh, Christ.
Keep your
name of the song.
keep your thinking together.
I'll just let you say it back.
Patsy and Dan and Dave.
We're gonna go with Ice Spice is nice.
Ice Spice is nice, and Dan Chris.
There's no such thing as Ice Spice.
It's a made up thing that's not real.
No, Ice Spice. Sadly, Ice Spice is a real person.
Shit.
She's a very disappointing rapper.
Shit.
And she did have a song called Princess Diana, which was a collaboration with Nicki Minaj.
The Ice Spice
and it's okay, but she's kind of rubbish.
Is that the answer? Is it?
Or just that it's not real.
Okay.
The thing you're talking about isn't real.
Next question.
So there's no answer.
Please feel free to vet these so that we might get them.
Yeah.
Why is Afrobeat suddenly in every club?
Oh, because Kuti's son is cool as fuck.
That's your answer. And you guys, why is Afrobeat suddenly in every club?
I'm gonna feel that to Dan.
I was in a nightclub in Iceland and there was some very loud, pervasive Afrobeat going on, and I went up to a woman quite at random and said to her, "Isn't this the worst music you've ever heard in your life?" And she smiled and laughed and said, "Yes, it's really awful." We then went up to the DJ and asked if they had any Boston or some soft rock, and the guy said, "This is an Afrobeat night," which was unhelpful.
Hang on, the nightclub.
Dan is really making up for his low-level conclusion in the early half of the podcast.
The nightclub was Iceland, or the nightclub was Iceland.
The answer, unfortunately, bad news. Both of you lost. The answer is, its fusion with pop beats made it irresistible worldwide.
Excellent.
Again, to remind everyone,
I'm kicking myself.
This quiz is written by AI.
I am kicking myself.
We need a better writer than this AI nonsense.
Okay, next.
Al. I told you it's Al.
AI is no one to
give us a little bit of screening there.
Humanity can't resist.
Yeah, come on, do some screening.
I was able to resist.
Question
Afrobeat to
5.
Yep.
Can Bad Bunny release a bad track?
No.
Fuck Bad Bunny.
No, because Bad Bunny only released one single track recently.
And it
was in collaboration with Nicki Minaj.
No.
You guys, what's your answer?
No, because Bad Bunny rocks it.
That's subjective.
I'm going to give a point to to Dave and Patsy, because no Bad Bunny rocks it is kind of the answer. Can Bad Bunny release a bad track? The answer, again from the AI, was not yet. He's on fire.
He even told us that one earlier.
I told you that one about 2 hours ago and I forgot.
I feel like this AI really likes.
Doing a shitty job. The AI is doing a really shitty job.
I feel like what
recount fake polls, fake everything.
Okay, this is the last question. So you guys are on 2. And you guys are on nothing. Okay, here we go. This is, I don't know if this is a 2024 question or a 2023 question. I feel like it might be a 2023 question. But the question is, name the duo behind Unholy. Dave and Patsy, you get the first guess? Everything to determine this is the big decider.
We've got nothing to lose at this point,
okay.
Chocolate.
And who? It's
Nicki
a duo.
Minaj and Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj and Count Chocula.
Yes.
And
PJ and Duncan.
PJ and Duncan. And the answer was Sam Smith and Kim Petras. So I think that's it. The votes have been
there were
counted.
2 quizzes and we had to decide which one was more by AI.
No, they're both.
Is that it? There's no
He's
more
decided
questions.
this is all kind
I've run out of.
There's no more good questions.
I've run out of
What's
patience.
happening here?
Greg, would you like me to answer the other question? Oh, you've seen the questions, haven't you?
I've all seen the question. But I think the winners, Patsy and Dave.
High five.
Yeah, you win.
Well done, everyone.
That hand was free.
You win.
We're proud of our 0 points.
As many mince pies as you would like.
Have you seen when?
The How to Swim podcast.
Okay, you've reached the end of the inaugural The Band That Time Forgot podcast, which is a podcast hosted by and about, or at least tangentially about, how to swim. Before we go, just to remind you, we are doing a show at the Glad Cafe on the 20th of December, which is this Friday. So come by if you're in the area. If you miss it, or you for some reason live in Cumbernauld, come to our show the following day in Cumbernauld at the centre. as part of the
Mug
what was it
Shack.
called? Mug Shack event. At the Mug Shack event.
They
Mug
call
Shack.
it Soul
The gig
Stock.
is the Mug Shack. It's called
it's
Soul
on the
Soul Stock.
longest day of the shortest day.
We'll put a link to it just here. So yeah, come on to that. That would be good to see you.
Yeah.
And thank you for enjoying us. We should be back for another episode at some point. Do we have? Is there any other
I mean,
business?
we have 25 to do within
AOB?
52 weeks, so we.
Any questions?
Greek Active. Reminder about Greek Active.
Oh yeah. Also, Greek Active is out on the same day that we do the show at Black Ivy. So.
And also the martial arts and Bobby King are playing.
Oh, did I not mention? Oh,
We have,
20th. We are playing with the wonderful martial arts, who are friends of us, of ours from way back, and Bobby King, who again is a musician that we've been playing with for 20 odd years.
Definitely a guest for a future podcast.
Yeah, he was invited to be on
He
this.
was
forum,
around the
couldn't
band
make it.
for a number of years.
Absolutely.
Played on
Okay,
stage
well,
with us.
Thank
I'm
you,
sure you
thank you
can-
to all of our special guests, and yeah, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
I just live
Okay,
to
bye-bye.
say that.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.